Okay. Thank you again very much, everyone. Rashideles, everyone. Rashideles. Thank you. Thank you. Rashideles, everyone. Okay, again, we're going to touch to the best or teaching of the gracious, kindness, compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, which is clear and summarized by with clarity and summarized by the very, very famous master in the 20th centuries, and known as His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche or Jabjib Dudjom Rinpoche. Many of you know, when we met, we had the fortunate to meet these great masters. Even though you didn't meet, many of you all connected. We're sharing the same teaching that what he gave. We're following that light. So it's just really wonderful. It's authentic lineage teaching of loving kindness and compassion and wisdom. And therefore, again, we activated our joy and appreciations and bodhicitta and purity, understanding of the realization of the Vajrayana teaching. Those are the motivations, and those are the intentions. We have to prepare the intention perfectly, beautifully, as much as we can do, and then that way, the Dharma, in the teaching said, that nectar of Dharma will absorb in the heart, is not interfered by the skeptical, ego-clingy, and suspicious, and intellectuals, and all those unnecessary thoughts. We have so many, which is really not going to benefit too much. Generally, it is always undermined wherever we have that, whether it's Dharma or whether even in the samsara, if we have that so many times. Maybe little bit is okay, but if we carry that all the time, it just it undermines the growth of whatever the success of the Dharma and as well as samsara. So therefore, this time particularly, Dharma is more focused on the mind. Teaching is more focused on the mind. And therefore, preparation can prepare ourselves, ready to bring that, call it, which is kind of hidden behind of the midst of all those conceptions unbeneficial. We bring it up, light up that. That is the powerful beginning practices. What great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said, if its beginning is good, it will bring the middle is good. If we continue to carry that thought, then ending will be good. So this all depends how we start that. It's really important. And then it's whole total will become so beautiful, 100% from top to bottom, or the middle and every side. And therefore the intention is so important. And I'm reminded to all of us, to you and to me, and that's really we all need every achieve. And with those beautiful intention thought, now we go to the teaching itself. And we are going through this four wealth of the practitioners or the Dharma practitioners by His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche highlighted that four. So we went first, among the four, we went first two. We went really first two. And as I said, this four wealth if we have, we're never going to feel poverty or shortage. Our spiritual realization or Dharma realization practice will be abundance. It's not going to fading away or it's not going to expire. There's no, if we really keep this form, that always refreshing, and not just only that, we are activating and it brings the growth, development. It will bring the development. That means what development? Realization. Realization what? Loving kindness, compassion, joy and appreciation, all that what we said, the motivation, those all just really shine beautifully. And then it defeated all those ego cling, duality, or some degree it will reducing that strength. As much we did that, and then same time, in the Buddha teaching, he said, the merit will gain. Merit is taking places now. Not obscuration is taking place in our mind streams. It's not. We're turning the page. We're changing the directions. We're changing the course. in our maybe first time in our lives because of the great teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni, the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni. And therefore, it's so, these four is so important. And now, what in the teachings here, His own Dudjom we said here, we go through. The bodhicitta of compassion toward all mother sentient beings. This you know, we all know. What can't we know? We know, at least intellectually we know. We receive this teaching so many times from our great masters. And our Sangha members also maybe really many times mention this. Sangha members, our friends, spiritual friends is talking that. So we know intellectually. But now knowing is not enough. We have to activate it again. And I said, bodhicitta is the essence of general Buddha teaching. Whether it is the Theravada school, whether it is the Mahayana, Sutra Mahayana school, whether it is Vajrayana Mahayana school, the Buddha teaching is based upon the compassion, loving kindness. Because of that, Buddha teaching is known as non-violence. Because of that, Buddha teaching is known as respecting and appreciating to every living being. No one is excluded from the compassion. And Mahayana, it highlights very much. That's what many great masters, many practitioners said that we all heard that. Because of the bodhicitta, Mahayana teaching is known as Mahayana. Mahayana is Sanskrit word, and which is great vehicle or great yana. Because who makes that? What is the cause of that? Principal cause of this bodhicitta. Bodhicitta can be divided into two, you all know. Relative true bodhicitta, absolute true bodhicitta. These true bodhicitta makes Mahayana as Mahayana and Vajrayana as Vajrayana. Without the bodhicitta, there is just talk. It's talk. It's a kind of like what's called lip service. It's no meaning behind. When you have the bodhicitta, according to the teaching, according to all the great masters that we had opportunity to meet, then Mahayana become the Mahayana, or Sutra Mahayana become Sutra Mahayana, and Vajrayana become the Vajrayana Mahayana, or the Daimyo vehicle. Then really truly it's become Daimyo vehicle. Daimyo vehicles. Otherwise, it is a name, just a name. That's not going to serve the purpose. Maybe it's working for a short time to show up that, but reality, there is no growth. Developing is only on the surface. So therefore, we have to activate this really bodhicitta. For that reason, Great Master Khenpo Rinpoche said, many times you heard, I also mentioned, if you have one thing, one practice, that will be enough to reach enlightenment or to become Buddha. If you don't have one practices, no matter whatever we practices, it won't lead any further. What is that practices? That practice is bodhicitta. And for that reason, the unmistakable cause of the Buddhahood is bodhicitta. For that reason, I pay respect or I pay homage. I pay homage. That's what great Master Khenpo Rinpoche said. It's not just him. Everyone, one voice from India, all the Tibetans, all the great masters of all the schools of Tibetan Buddhism, and who become great bodhisattva, enlightened beings because of the practice of bodhicitta. Really, it's so important, necessary. If we like to bring the peace and harmony to our own self, bodhicitta is what we should do. If we like to bring peace and harmony in the family, we should practice bodhicitta. If we like to bring the peace and harmony in our neighborhood and village, we should practice the bodhicitta. If you like to bring the larger peace to the world, start bodhicitta. That tells something, really tells something so important and so spacious. Then not. Bodhicitta is in the teaching. It will bring that peace and happy and joy to all the way to the enlightenment, and we become the Buddha. Our completely potential or the Buddha nature is fully waked up as it has potential, as it has opportunities. That really revolved, we become the Buddha. That is bodhicitta. So therefore, that is, then of course, you all know, as I said, we are reminded to each other. We are all practitioners. We are all the Sangha members. We're Sangha member, we are reminded to each other, even though you heard this word, I heard this, but repeating is something so special in the teachings. That's what we do, chant. Even we chant mantras, because it's so important. It makes some print our channels, our mind streams, saying good things. We're not saying gossips. We're not saying some skepticals or that will hurt and damage to anyone. We're talking about repeating the follow teaching of the Buddha, and the uplifting and ushering, and the kind of in a way to talking about our own beautiful qualities. That's what we have. Bodhicitta is our nature, our qualities. So therefore, it's very powerful, beneficial, and benefited to many levels. And now, with that understanding, I talk the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, when you develop in the teaching, Mahayana teaching, then you all know two bodhicitta. Wishing bodhicitta and actualizing bodhicitta. These two bodhicitta. I'm not going to talk too much. Of course, you all know those, so I don't talk that. But among that two bodhicitta, what is mostly important for the beginner, such as us, which is most important? Wishing bodhicitta. What is wishing bodhicitta? If I say simply, it is good heart. Good heart that equal for all the sentient beings, or all the living beings. Good heart. Be good heart. Good heart. And then if we go a little detail, or make that more clarity, it's compassion. It's compassion. Compassion to all beings. If we go a little more that, then our next step is, we all know, loving kindness. Loving kindness is compassion. That is the essence of the bodhicitta. So that is very familiar for us. And we all know, heard. Even before we practicing Dharma, we heard love and compassion. Loving kindness, compassion, and a good heart. But when we practice Dharma, what are we doing? We're activating, not leaving that in the sleeping domes. We're activating, bring growth, let it shine. We're polishing. We're glorifying that our richness qualities. When we have the good heart and love and compassion, all those, immediately we feel ourselves more calmer, more peaceful, more happy, more joy. And things are kind of quite good, everything kind of begins. Really, we begin to see appreciating, grateful. This all comes because symbol our nature. We're touching to our own nature, our own qualities. That is what it is. This is the Buddha teaching. Not just because the Buddha said, then we believe him. This is not believing. This is evidence. We can witness ourselves. If we have love and compassion and good heart, what benefit is? Immediately we fulfill. But behind the scene, according to teaching of the gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni and Gorup Emma Sambhava, all the lineage masters, it will heal our scars, emotion scars. It will heal those psychological scars. It's more powerful medicine than any other drugs. It's really something taken from the deep, and it will heal the disease, sicknesses. For that reason, in the lineage teaching often mentioned, Khenpo Tsewang, one medicine that will take care of everything. One medicine that will take care of everything. That's the name. That's what Bodhicitta named, Khenpo Tsewang. One medicine that will take care of everything. It's true. Then deep down, that invisible, maybe don't see immediate, but we purify the obscurations. When you have the bodhicitta, generally, that our anger, our jealousness, our attachment, or those are really kind of like almost hiding behind. We don't. In bodhicitta, we have that. We don't have too much powerful, igniting anger or jealousness, arrogance, all that. It's all kind of like sneaking out in the behind. See? That happened. It's true. We're not just talking that somebody that happening and we are going to get that. No. If we have the bodhicitta, love and compassion is happening right that moment. You all know, or we all know. So that is how powerful it is, really, bodhicitta. And therefore, wishing bodhicitta is so important, that love and compassion and that kindness or good heart, simple it is. It's just so special. And that moment, even in samsara world, they will say, oh, that person is good guy or good ladies. That good lady and the good guy is not written as a label on our forehead or someone. It tells the heart of those individuals has something lesser sizzling quality than the average people. So that is bodhicitta. That is good heart, loving kindness, compassion. Now with this understanding, in a gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, in the lineage teaching, as you all know, known as when you activated that, then four boundless practices. Four boundless practices. Or four boundless, what are those? Generally, again, is it something that we all know, we all heard. And our nature, your nature and my nature, we now bring on the spotlight, not leaving that behind of all the emotions, obscurations, all the darkness, we bring that on the light. What are those? And you all know, four boundless. But before to become the four boundless, what is known as, we all know, is loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Those are known as four boundless. Every living being have that. This is not only the Mahayana practitioners. We all, every living being, before we met Dharma or received the teaching, we have that. It's something, our own inherent nature. And those are what in the gracious teaching, Buddha Shakyamuni is in teaching, said those are the light of Buddha nature. Love is the light of the Buddha nature. Compassion is the light of the Buddha nature. And joy is the light of the Buddha nature. And equanimity is the light of the Buddha nature. Is dawn, is light, is beams of light coming. And some people or some individually has a little more because it's coming more. Some are a little less because it's hiding behind the midst of all the different qualities or different those habit patterns or the unkind healthy habit patterns. But reality, no one is absence of these qualities. That's which is teaching, and we know no one is absent. That means include animals, include all the invisible beings. According to Buddhism, there is invisible beings, not just only the visible beings. According to Buddhism, we're not just only the human beings. There's many others. Those are known as, you all know. We all heard, we all heard. 6 beings. According to Buddhism, they are truly existing. They're living beings. They are equally same as like us. What that means? Everyone wants happy. Everyone wants peace. Everyone, all the beings of 6 realms. No one wants suffering. No one wants troubles, misfortunes, sadness. It's same intention. There's no one is. As like we human beings, we don't want sadness. We don't want sadness or suffering, troubles. And that we like to be happy, joy, peace. Peace, that's what really we want. We're all the same. There's no difference. But yet, reality, how are we going? Even but that's our deep desire, but how are we going through? It's not always fulfilling, not happening always. We're struggling. Therefore, here Great Master, His Holiness said, all the living beings have the compassion in bodhicitta. All the mother sentient beings have the happiness or compassion. Mother sentient beings. All they have this. So that means, now when we have this love, compassion, joy, appreciations that I said to everyone has. But now we have to little bit accelerating that love and compassion. We have to accelerate that joy. We have to accelerate that equanimity. Accelerating. So that means we have to lift up the level, not just leave that on ground or where they are. We have to accelerate it. We have to bring up. When we bring up that, how we started that, then always in Mahayana teaching said, expand that. Present of time, all of us has this, that 4 qualities. Those all good. Love is good, compassion is good, joy is good, equanimity is good. No one will deny that. No one will dispute that. Everyone wants. But this present, the regular, our love and compassion, joy is limited. It's partialities. It's just selected. It's just judgmentals. That's what is our love. And that is love and compassion. But even though that is like that, which is good, definite. But when Mahayana teaching, when say that, then bring that to the boundless. Boundless. Or they are sometimes translated limitless. What to bring limitless? Bring loving kindness to the limitless. Bring compassion to the limitless. Bring joy to the limitless. Bring equanimity to the limitless. To bring all of those, you should bring up. Bring up and extend. What that means? Our love is not kind of selected and targeted love. Our target is, here His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche said, all the beings of 6 realms. All the beings of 6 realms is, our love is spreading. And we are really sending the love to all the sentient beings. Then compassion is same, joy is same, equanimity is same. That is boundless. That love and compassion and joy and that equanimity is what is in the teaching said. That is completely based upon the wisdom and non-judgmental. Non-judgmental, and then maybe if you have some realization of the nature, is also emptiness. Loving kindness is the emptiness, compassion is the emptiness, joy is the emptiness, equanimity emptiness. What that means? Maybe. I'm sure you all know. Many of you know already. But so few of you don't know what that means. Means love, even though it's so precious, so special, loving kindness. But where is that love? If somebody asks, or if you ask yourself, or if we ask to ourselves, where is that my beautiful love, loving kindness? Can we show? Can we tell? Can you bring that? There's nothing really we can bring. We can show. But yet it didn't mean that when we can't show and can't bring, it didn't mean that it not exist. It's here. That's what we talk. That's what everybody says. I love you. I like you very much. All those expressions. So reality is empty. That's why we can expand. Because it's empty. We can expand to all the living beings. This in the teaching, Bodhicitta teaching, such as like absolute Bodhicitta teaching, all the living beings are also like illusory beings or magic beings. There's no solid living beings. That means the law, solid, existing, unchangeable living beings. Everyone is based on that magical status. So same way, our love is magical status. We are extending that to all the living beings. Openly, freely, truly. That is known as boundless love. According to the teaching of the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, why is it called boundless? Because it's boundless, because the power is boundless, object is boundless, and subject is boundless, and the benefit is boundless or limitless. What means that object is boundless? To whom we object that loving kindness is all the living beings. There is no numbers of the living beings according to Buddha teaching. So many beings, you cannot count. It's countless. So therefore, this love, our love is going to all those beings. If I can categorize it, then 6 beings. Beings of 6 realms. It's really going to everyone. And where is it coming? From your true heart and mind. If we can find the subject is boundless, if we trying to look the boundary, border or boundary of our mind, no, I don't think we can find. Nobody can find boundary of our love, our mind. Even though it's our own mind, we ask ourselves, do we see the edge and the boundaries and mind? No. Same. It's boundless or limitless. So therefore, love is coming from there to all. Then, power is boundless. It's according to teaching, even though we don't see all the beings, but when we have that really, truly that thought, is reaching to all the sentient beings. Everyone, like ripple, the northern light. Ripple and beams of light is going to every directions without any boundaries. That's how the power is. It's benefiting some degree according to our capability and their readiness situations. And then benefit, so powerful. When we develop bodhicitta, even one moment or one incident in the Buddha teaching said, it has power to remove all the sufferings, difficult caused by sufferings. And what great Master Shantideva says, moment you develop the bodhicitta, that moment you are named as bodhisattvas. That moment. And the moment we develop the bodhicitta in our heart and mind, that moment we will burn down the obscuration that which has accumulated so many eons. It will burn down. That's all the Shantideva said. Moment we develop the bodhicitta in our heart, bodhicitta is like alchemins that transmute iron to the gold. Gold. Moment that regular kind of not so expensive iron, and we have the Nordic alchemins. Alchemins, we transform that to the nugget gold. Our mind becomes the mind of enlightenment, not mind of samsara, not mind of dualities. Retain. So those are all benefits of this bodhicitta. Body. And then that's the beginning. It goes on and on. And all the path and all the Buddhist realization, that all been added up with this bodhicitta. It grows as we develop the bodhicitta that much. It really is. So therefore, this bodhicitta is so important, and that is loving kindness. And then first one, kind of having those loving kindness also in the heart and mind, and then what? Compassion. Boundless compassion, boundless joy, and boundless equanimity. You all know these things. We all receive this teaching so many times. As I said earlier, I'm reminding to all of us, each other, really that. So if we can activate it, even short time, for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, it really has power. It has power, visibly power, invisibly it has such big power to purify the obscuration, to accumulate the merits. That is so. And this is also known as, this pure boundless is the how we develop the wishing bodhicitta. It's in our mind, in our heart. But now, when you activated that, because of that, with this loving kind, this pure boundless, then we take the bodhicitta vows. We take bodhicitta vows in ceremonies. We take. And when we have the bodhicitta vow, and then even though you didn't have the vows of bodhicitta, when you see this value and important, activating that bodhicitta, love and compassion and joy and equanimity, then with that intention, then with that thought, activating those intentions into the action, physical action, verbal actions, and as well as the mental actions. Those are all known as actualizing bodhicitta. You're actualizing the bodhicitta. And then according to teaching, or as you develop bodhicitta, and what is? Then you develop those, you're moving and accumulating all those 6 paramatas. 6 paramatas looks like transcendental practice of those practices. It looks very fancy. Kind of transcendental 6 paramata, all that. But all based on this simple good heart. Love and compassion, joy and equanimity. That's really based on all that. That's it. Nothing is all. And the 6 transcendental or 6 paramatas, of course, you all know, I'll list the names. And first, the generosity transcendental, or transcendental practice of the generosities. Second, the transcendental practice of the moralities. Third is transcendental practice of the patience or the tolerance. And fourth is transcendental practice of the joyful effort to the virtues. And fifth is transcendental practice of the concentrations or meditations. And then sixth is the transcendental practice of the wisdom. What that means, wisdom? Wisdom that see clearly where things are as it is, and wisdom that see also nature of the everything where things are. Nature. See the where things are appears, but see also where things are, realityless. Seeing that is wisdom, exactly where things are. So those are all practice based on these 4 boundless practices. this four boundless practice is the vehicle, and four boundless practice is the protein, and four boundless practice is fiber, and four boundless practice is vitamins, multiple vitamins, to reach Buddhahood. Buddhahood also looks so fancy and so difficult. Reality level, according to the teaching, we discovered our basic nature as it is now, without any obscuration, without any cover-up. We clearly discovered that. That's it. That's nothing else. We return, many times in the teaching said, we return back to our original dominion. We back to our original status without the interference of one's own deed of dualities. When we reach that, that is Buddhahood. That is the enlightenment. That is, at that moment, our bodhicitta, mind of enlightenment, become the wisdom of the enlightenment. Then we become. That's it. Wisdom of the enlightenment. That is what it is. So, in order to do that, we're here. Great Master His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche said, the bodhicitta of compassion toward all the sentient beings. All the beings, as much as we can, have the bodhicitta, and activating that. And of course, due to our habitual patterns of the many lifetimes, many times our bodhicitta, our compassion, loving kindness won't stay all the time. This is not something that we don't have the love and compassion, because the habitual pattern of our habitual pattern of the duality is so strong, so saturated, really so saturated. It's so easy to come with these habitual patterns of the duality, so easy. We don't have to make any effort to have the habitual pattern of duality. That we know. I mean, you know, me know. No, it just easily comes. But when we explore our own true nature, because it's hidden behind this habitual pattern of duality, we have to make effort. Even though it's our own nature, we have to make effort. We have to have courage. We have to go on and on. But that time, what are we doing? We're changing the course. We're not running and obedient of our old habit pattern of the duality. Really, we see that what is making this habitual pattern of our duality is making to us, to myself, to the others, up to our loved ones, and all the beings. It is troublemakers. It is disturbances. It is obstacles making. But yet, because we saw, according to gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, we've been so many lifetimes in this samsara. So many lifetimes. Even there's no numbers. That's what, I mean, you know, you heard those teachings. I heard too. I'm repeating that, what I heard. No numbers. That time, we completely saturated, carried by force of our own habitual pattern of dualities. So we become almost completely kind of, in a way, habitual pattern of duality becomes so natural for us. And our own true nature, loving kindness, compassion, and joy and appreciation almost become aliens. Aliens. And we have to touch those qualities, we have to make efforts. That's what Great Master Buddha Shakyamuni lay out those 6 paramata practices, how to defeat that habit patterns of the dualities and bring forth back to our dominion or our places. If we continue to do that, what Great Master Shantideva said, if we work for hard with joy and courage and commitment, there's nothing is difficult. Everything will become easy. As we are completely familiar and is carried by the force of duality, and that we can tell. Duality is so easy to come for us. As I said earlier, we don't have to make any effort. We don't have to make any emotions to come any effort. It just comes. We can say it's almost spontaneous. But on the other hand, our own true love, compassion, or natural love and compassion, wisdom, we have to make effort to reveal. Then we make that effort, revealing. That is known as following the path. Path to discovering our own true nature. And therefore, again, as I said, you all know so many times, the best of to discover our nature is just start what we have now. What that means? We have love, compassion, and joy, and the equanimity we have right now. Some degree, we have that. It's not something that we have to learn the new things and something stranger things we have to bring. What we have, that is what we should learn and develop and increase. Really. If we do that, that is called practicing. Practicing Dharma. And that practice is spiritual. Buddha teaching is not something that strange we have to do, or alien something, or new idea, new things we have to learn. Touch base. Buddha teaching is touch base. Our own nature. That is beginning. That is a starting point. That is the way to the confidence and the fulfillment. Really, one's own nature. And that is our goal, to fulfill all that. And that is for that reason. And if we keep this bodhicitta with love and compassion, that is one of the best wealth of the Dharma practitioners. Really, we always become the rich of heart, love and compassion, joy. All that comes, even though on the visible level, immediately, and then benefit is so tremendous and so powerful. It is working. Those are what the teaching said, and that is witnessed by so many great masters and great practitioners, ancient time, who reach enlightenment. They practice this. They follow with this. They see this value and important and the benefits, really. So therefore, this for that reason, it is one of the great wealth of the practitioners. It's like life support of the practitioners to reach enlightenment. And that's my talk for today. And thank you very much, everyone, again for participating. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Then we do again short dedication. Short dedication, that which is, again, if you have this page 32, we do that. And after that, then as I said, we do the healing practices. By this merit, may all may defeat the enemy wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of the birth, ordeal, and the sickness and the death, from the ocean of the samsara, may I free all beings. Okay, now we do the Ujjimala practices. If you have these texts, we start right to the practices. In page 1, we already did the 7-line prayer, lineage prayers, so we started right there. And again, this healing practice with thinking to all living beings who are really sick now, who are having so much difficulties. And what in the Buddha teachings, the sick of all the different things. As we did prayer here, what the dedication prayers, old age, and what it said here, and what in the teaching, what in the teaching said here, that defeat the enemy wrongdoing from the stormy waves of the birth, ordeal, sickness, and death. Those are the really, everyone is experienced. And the foundation, the cause of those in the Buddha teachings is negative emotions. negative emotions are our habit patterns that will causing. So we really do this healing practice, thinking of all living beings. They're free from the sickness of the whatever they're going through, or troubles with that, and plus the cause of those in the deep down, completely freed and healed. So extended the body as we talk, and then we do this practice again. Thank you.